Good morning. How are you guys? Good. Can you hear me okay?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I just
can.
wanted to go live
Now,
and
remind everyone,
watch
this
the
is live.
Pulse
this is not pre-recorded. So
live stream
if a
with you all.
disaster happens on the East Coast.
Maybe add some commentary here and there. I'm sure that you can probably hear it in the background, and I'm sure most of you are probably watching this rather than watching my live stream.
Thanks, Jordan.
So.
Well, the Hasbro Global Photo Studios are really
but I figured this would be a good way to maybe chat with some people if anybody joins in.
Together. We specialize in a wide range of photography, from conventional tabletop setups that really show the features and the accessories of a product to full production lifestyle shoots with
Corey and Matt
sets
talking about the dioramas that they put together.
Location photography, capturing how fun it is to play with our brands in real world settings. But of course, one of our favorite aspects of the job is our diorama builds. This is where the creative juices really start to flow. And with the help of our brand teams and our vital in-house production team, we develop super fun diorama scenes where we can tell these engaging stories and really connect with our fans all over the world. Dioramas allow us to push the boundaries of creativity and bring a unique and playful element to our work. And in my humble opinion, it's the coolest and most fun job in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it would be the coolest and most fun job in the world. Play with toys and make dioramas.
Storytelling that really sets us apart.
I absolutely love it. You know what? That is truly the best job. Now, for the fans at home, if you want to participate, we have a series of polling questions on YouTube where you can answer. And as a result, we'll build out a specific G.I. Joe scene throughout the show. Get it? I mean, you guys are in control. Ready to get started?
That's cool. They're going to let us vote on
make sure that you are on
G.I. Joe scenes that they're going to build throughout this part of the show.
There are plenty of G.I. Joe figures to choose from. We decided to narrow down the options a little bit into two categories. Option 1, Team G.I. Joes with the following figures: Alpine, Marauder, Lowlight, and Spirit, and Starduster. Or Option 2, the Dreadnoks with the following figures: Xandar, Road Pig, and Naugahyde.
So I chose G.I. Joe. I've never done this before. This is pretty cool.
What do you want to see? What team do you want? You want G.I. Joe or Dreadnoks? Let us know right now. We'll give you about a minute to decide. I know you guys are fast. So you guys excited?
I do want the audio to kind of come through my live
absolutely.
stream as well.
Yeah. We're wearing our G.I. Joe shirts. Of course, on the bad guys, he's the good guy. So we may just start a little fight right here on set to get things rolling.
Yeah.
But
completely unplanned.
That Starduster looks awesome.
Have you guys ever done this live before? Like actually built live?
No. The closest thing to this
I
is
really
when the
dig
brand
Road
is
Pig and
on set
Xandar as
watching
well.
while you work.
Right.
This is a whole new experience.
And now you literally have all the fans watching.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. Well, hang on. We've got something coming in right now. Okay. Lovely. Beautiful. This is live. All right. Here we go. So the answer to the first one is Team Dreadnoks. How do you guys feel about that one?
All right. Cool. Bad guys are fun.
Okay. So Dreadnoks went out on that.
All right. So you know what? We're going to hit you up
Joe.
with another polling question. I'm going to make it a little more difficult for you guys while we're here. Okay. Yeah. Now that we have our key characters, we need to know where they are. So you got the Dreadnoks.
I've actually gotten into
Here's the next question that we're going to help with the fans.
diorama sets.
What
for
environment
Joe
do you want to see your characters in? Is it option 1, the mountains, or option 2, the city? Go ahead and submit your answer now. We'll give you about a minute.
What environment do you want to see the team in? I want to see them in the mountains.
Yeah.
Seems like everybody else picked the city.
I think I'm rooting for the mountains, and I have a feeling Corey's probably rooting for the city on this one.
You really want the mountains?
Yeah, the mountains are fun. You could do a lot with mountains.
But cities allow you to hide behind buildings and really just have a lot of fun.
Okay. So you know what? Now I know we're already doing the Dreadnoks. We're doing the bad guys.
Yeah, Lone Dragon. That's literally the reason why I went live, man. Was just so that I can watch, hopefully watch this with some other people.
The thing
everybody in my Facebook groups and whatnot. I think everybody's at work or doing something else, and
all right,
I'm the only one that's able to get on right now.
We actually have the results back in from the poll, and I'm going to get them right now. The lovely Anne.
Yes. Yeah, man. I want to see the new toys as well. I ordered
you guys,
stock
here is the
today
answer. What environment do you want the characters to be in?
Leatherneck, Dial Tone, Saw Viper, and Xandar.
You excited?
I'm excited. Yes, thank you to the Pulse community for giving us this direction.
Good luck. All right, sounds like a challenge. You guys have your work cut out for you. and we will check in with you later. Good luck,
Excellent.
guys. Okay, speaking of Joe, it's time for our first brand segment. Now we're about to dive into one of my favorites, G.I. Joe. The retro classified series
the
figures
claw
have
and the
been
fang, man. I'm with
top-notch,
both
and I
of those.
especially enjoy the diorama photo images.
I would
Those
say
things are
that
so
the
inspirational.
claw
So
is
look,
probably
let's
going to
say
be
hello
priced
to our
somewhere
G.I.
around
Joe
the same
team,
as like the
BMAC, Lenny,
Ram cycle.
and Tony. And you know what? They actually have a very special guest joining them. It's your
I
friend
really
and
like
ours.
the fact
You
that
saw
they
him
brought
before,
BMAC into the G.I.
Mr.
Joe
Dan
team.
Larson. Take it away, guys.
Dan Larson's on here too.
Welcome, G.I. Joe fans. It is PulseCon time once again. Very excited to be here doing G.I. Joe. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting me.
You were really good last year. We could
Thank you.
not have
Thank
you again this time. Clearly, I mean, you really hate G.I. Joe, right?
Of course.
So-
Yeah.
All right. So, it's PulseCon. We should
Yeah,
probably
let's
just
do
get right into it. Let's start
Let's
with
do
our
it.
convention exclusive revealed back at Comic-Con, PulseCon, Starduster. Here it is. So, we told you he was going to get his glow up. We're going to go through the photos.
Yeah.
So his photo shoot is actually kind of a lot of fun. It was like behind actually doing a commercial shoot. So on this first photo here, you see they're doing the commercial shoot. It's starting. He's doing the promo for the cereal. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Second photo, you're going to see he's doing his Yo Joe pose. He's standing on the rock. He's got
I
the
think
lights
it's
up.
cool that they've included like
Matt,
the
who's
little
doing the
Easter
inventory
egg
right
stuff,
now,
like the cereal
did all these
box
shots
with
for us.
Starduster.
Next, the Valkyries
like,
break
the
in,
little
steal
mini
his cereal.
Sergeant
And he's just
Slaughter.
like, what is
Dude,
happening?
Dude, taking somebody's cereal, that's very
Oh,
that's
that's
very
nuts.
Do you know what that's worth now? That box of cereal? It's probably still good.
I think they'll
But then
announce them
Starduster's just
today
oh,
as
no.
like
This
name
ain't happening.
drops,
Give me back
but,
my cereal.
The boot is
you know,
a
they've already
bold-
kind of shown
bold
some stuff
Yeah.
before, so.
And then lastly, well, now that I've worked hard, it's time to enjoy some cereal.
And I do think they'll make a
When they were
Skyhawk
sending us
since
photos, it was like
the
ridiculous.
what was
Like,
it, Fans
everyone
Toys
was-
ended up
So,
getting the cease and desist
I'm
for
gonna go
theirs.
pick the
Yeah.
because I forgot to.
Oh,
We
that's
got a lot
right.
of stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got to show you the product.
We got to show you the product.
All right, B-Mac, throw it to me.
I'm not going to throw it at you, but I'll hand you these and I'll get started.
So here we go. So as you guys can see, we loaded them out. It comes with a lot of really cool stuff. But I think the standout thing for Starduster is the cereal box. You literally can make the old school cereal box. And I think something that may not be seen in too many of our photography is there's actually a crossword puzzle in the back of that cereal box.
So those of you that are watching,
Red
what do you think of
Rocket with Roadblock
Starduster?
riding
To
it,
me,
which is also
I
absolutely
like the
ridiculous.
fact that it's a true
But as you can see,
representation
the
of
figure
what
came out really
the
well. I'm
original
really excited
mail-order
with him.
figure
His deco
was.
is awesome.
It was
That
just a
camouflage,
kit bash
we kinda
of
added the
existing
second color
parts
on there.
and
His loadout,
accessories.
can so he could point and do all the acting that he would be doing in the commercial.
Some people were
But
kind of
again, this is an awesome
upset
figure
that
to
it
bring in.
didn't have
Obscure,
a
weird.
a new head
But
all the way
sculpt,
back
but
in the day, right?
I
Yeah.
I like what they've done with it.
I love that you did do the cereal box on that. It is ridiculous. I put that together myself earlier today, so You it did. is easy to do. Punches right out of the
Actually, I'm
background.
not 100% sure that it doesn't have a new head sculpt. They may have
and I love
they
that,
may
yeah,
have done
that's-
something with that.
There's nothing in it though.
I'm
There's ingredients
sure they'll
on the
tell
side.
us about it though.
All right. Tony, anything you want to add?
No, we tried to get cereal on set, but that was a health hazard. So.
Yeah, I blew it. We should have made a life-size cereal box. We should have ended eating cereal, but
Cereal on set.
I would almost
That's
expect
amazing.
the link
super
from
fun,
G.I. Joe
vibrant
before I would
colors,
expect
blue sky.
the
So
Wolverine.
super excited
all right.
to see it.
So pre-orders for Starduster
plus Ramen
finally
hasn't
today, 4
really,
p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Hasbro Pulse.
I don't know
premium
if they're going
members,
to get anything or
and then,
not. Like a
at 5
cease
p.m.
and
Eastern
desist.
Standard Time on HasbroPulse.com for everybody else. So we did some render reveals at Comic-Con. Well, you guys did render
We did.
reveals because I was
We
at
did.
home. So let's get into the first character of the mainline wave starting 2025. This one's fun. You had a lot of fun with this one, Mike. This is our good friend Leatherneck.
Oh yeah, and he's
So
Leatherneck.
you'll see today these
Great.
photos for the mainline actually kind of tell a story. They go
Yep.
from like
Now, see,
Storm
this
of
is another
Gloom
figure
to
that I
Baby
believe
Storm.
should have
A lot of
been
fun.
on
So,
a retro
see him
card
here,
back.
Leatherneck. He's storm
And
rolling
going
in the
with
sky,
the
flipping
going
out
with the
his coat, he's got
classified
shooting
mainline,
glasses
I
on.
think that they
Next,
should
all of a sudden,
have
here's something he's hiding behind
more
a rock. There's
updated
something fuzzy going
figures,
on in
more
the back of that
updated
picture. When
versions
you
of the
look at it,
characters,
when you
and
look at
then
it, you know,
reserve
online
the
later today, you'll see what's going
like
on.
super
So
retro
then he
looking
goes to
figures
his
for the retro
communications
card back.
device, and he's calling a good buddy that might be out there.
It'd be
in
a
the field
great
with
fit
him.
for that
And
line, and I
last but
love
not
those
least,
card backs.
you see him
Those
here.
figures play great.
Powerful staff.
It's about to go down.
Emily has like
Again, this is a
3
figure we have to get
brands
into
that
the
she
line.
is over
We
right
need to
now.
get
She's
Joe
over
Sargent in the line.
G.I. Joe,
He kind of
Ghostbusters,
encompasses a lot of
and
what G.I. Joe is, especially
another
from
one. I
his
can't remember
aesthetic,
exactly
he
what it is
brings
right
to
now.
the character
But I
roster.
know that she's over
We got a
another
lot
one.
of
She might be
wacky-looking deco on
doing
him.
something
He
with
has
Power
old
Rangers
school,
again.
patch
I know
on
that
his
she
shoulder.
deactivated her
Also,
Instagram
something to
account.
point out is,
Uh,
I don't know if you
didn't
see on camera
delete,
really
but
well, but
deactivated.
you can't define
That's
the
what I was
shadow on his neck, which Tony pushed for very hard.
He needed it. He needed that grizzled look.
Yeah.
And super happy with the face print on this guy, and of course,
man, I really it's really disheartening to see all the people talk shit about Emily when Emily is one of the main reasons why some of these guys have gotten all the stuff that they've cried so hard about.
And we're very excited to have him on the line. He's an awesome figure. And the power stash, which we've been taking tally of those stashes.
Yes.
Hey, you mentioned it the other day on the call, and I looked it up. I wanted to check to see where we were at with my
You're banned from the vintage line. I commented
85,
on it
86. Those are your strong mustache years. 93.
Shared my on my Facebook group and then shared my channel. I'm sitting here with 2 different browsers open so that I can be live and watch this at the same time.
So let's keep this
and
going.
answer messages in chat groups on my phone.
So, all right. So next, we're gonna do another Joe because you kind of saw him in that third photo there. Anyways, adding to the line more mustache love. Dial tone.
Yet again, this is a failed opportunity for the retro card back line. This figure should not be in the main line. This figure needs to be in the retro card back line in an updated version with maybe updated gear, paint job, color scheme, accessories, whatever, in the boxed classified line. I really wish that they would get a little bit more organized with all of their designs.
The rain is really good.
Hopefully it doesn't.
And where they release those designs.
They're Joes. That could never happen.
Wait, it's plastic.
And then the best is the victory, the big bada boom, as it were. You just see them very excited. They're called an airstrike.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Like I don't really.
When we were kids playing with them, like that's.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to comment on this.
Dirt mound with my Joes, and I feel like Matt does such a good job of like bringing the figures to life.
I was going to say that's just the backdrop for somebody else's blister card photo, right? Like somebody else is just posing in front of that explosion.
That's right.
So let's take them through. So this figure, super excited to get on the line. We needed our tech specialist. We needed our communication specialist, and he has a Jamf backpack on, which is awesome because he can block signals, he can send signals, and you saw it in the shoot, but in the back, his backpack will open up, and there's a mixer board in there, and that mixer board is what he uses.
Not that it'll even be seen, but I'm asking, why are these figures not retro cardback line figures when they're very clearly
on the side of his
OG retro designs?
Something else that's very subtle, but I'm pretty pumped about it, is he has an electric eye, electric eye on the back, which is a camera that it swivels. So
there's actually 5 people on watching my stream.
Really
That's
fun.
a lot more than I expected.
The electronic ear that is also for hearing. And something else is that his cell phone, which he also has a holstered cell phone pocket on his belt, goes onto his blaster so they can AR and see what he's dealing with. So this
of course they'll still be made in the retro line, Philly Jones. I just think that these figures and the designs look more retro than what should be in the main classified line.
It's one of those like my father-in-law wears that thing. Like you put your cell phone on, you know.
All right, so now we're gonna go bad guys. Again, you might have maybe figured out what it was from the renders that we did, but also in the blurriness of the photo. So up first, another Dreadnought that's gonna be in that Pick Your Adventure. Here we see Xandar. He's checking his gear.
Now, Xandar, they did a really good job.
It's getting stormier and darker. He is very elusive. So he's making sure all this stuff's good.
Thanks a lot, Rockin' New Era. I appreciate that, man.
Good. No water in there. You don't want that thing to jam.
I've been building this collection for a long time, and I've sold off big chunks of it and bought into different lines and whatnot. And still, one of my favorite lines is Valor versus Venom.
All right, let's talk about Xandar.
Yeah, he's a fun figure to work on, and we kept it pretty close to the original. But I mean, you guys can obviously notice he's not shirtless anymore. Wanted to give him a little more protection, but we did keep the gun holster on there.
Which cable is that you're talking about, Lone Dragon? Like the only Marvel Legends I've been buying lately are the X-Men '97 figures.
Skulls on it, but not just skulls. They're demon skulls. And they're gold because demon skulls. Because demon skulls are cool, man. But yeah, so he's really fun. We gave him the torpedo blaster as well as the backpack. You can see with all the torpedoes.
Hey, Brian King, what's up, man?
Harpoons rather in there as well. He has his axe knife, which is super fun, and he also has his little.
I saw that wave that you're talking about, Lone Dragon. I just didn't buy any of them.
So we kept that consistent there, which was
So, man, I think that they did a really good job with Xandar. This is a nice update to the original style of the figure. Plus, they incorporated
You'll see
the pink scarf as part of Zorana's jacket or shirt or something. I think is what they were saying. It's the same color,
You
pink.
can see all those markings continuing up through the neck. There's no real break there, and the face print came out great. We kind of glammed him up just ever so slightly to match his sister. So super excited there. And his
Actually, I love what they've done with Xandar. This is a really nice update to that figure.
Grayish blue, not gray, but hints back to the old figure.
He still pops like the old figure, but I think we grounded him a bit, which I think makes him kind of it ties the room together.
It really does.
All right, so one more character in this wave.
The last wave of the retro carded figures they did, I think, was
a little bit when he first
fantastic.
was revealed, but I think we're going to quell everybody.
Duke is
today.
probably
So
my
let's
favorite
check
next to
out
the new
first
Scarlet.
pictures. You see
Saw
Viper
Viper
in the
looks
true builder
amazing.
walking
I
through.
ordered
Taken out by that big explosion.
I ordered like
Yeah.
30
This
or
is pretty
40
fun. They have found the
of,
Joes. He's engaging
Saw
with
Viper
Leatherneck
for stock
because you
today.
can use your rifle to fight off a chainsaw. Clearly, well, apparently not, because there's Leatherneck on the ground. He's kind of defeated. The Saw Viper is very elated. And then
man,
last
for
but not least, he hears
like
something
all of
else
my
because
stock
the
orders, I've
dial
gotten to
tone
the
was
point
there.
where I
He's
just
ready for
order like a
action. We
case
don't
or
know what's
two
going
of
on,
named
so
character figures, and
let's,
then I'll order
talk about some
multiple cases of troop builders.
GI Joes and Cobras. But yeah, the Saw Viper was awesome to work on too. What I loved about this figure was I wanted to make a layered figure. So all the armor on his arms will come off. There's deco on there as well.
Nice.
His helmet does come off. His collar does come off. So
I'm
you can go in many
surprised they
different
didn't
looks for him.
make this a
It's
deluxe
super fun.
figure since all of the
And
armor
in the
comes off.
spirit of taking things off of him, the chainsaw will come off the front of the saw machine gun.
That's
and
very
he can
cool.
wield it like a knife.
I was gonna say, is it technically a bayonet?
It's technically a motorized bayonet.
Yes, they did an
So,
awesome
give you a
job
little-
with Crocmaster.
extra oomph when trying to cut through things, right? So yeah, super fun figure. We kept a lot of the cues of the old school figure from
Back here behind me,
but we wanted to up him and give
back
him a little
here,
more armor, make him feel like a
most
heavy
of
lot.
these
You
are
see
my
how
original
comic books
Joes
are
from
kind
when
of
I was a
updated little
kid.
bit. So yeah, Saw Viper, pretty sweet.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I
if you
want to
have
see him
Donkey
without all the
Kong,
armor
make
on.
sure you
Like
put
if
him on
they're
the
saying that it
shelf
comes
as
off,
this
go
guy.
ahead and take it off and let's see what it looks like.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and a lot of people
think
were saying this
those,
guy gave
no,
off
it's not
Grimace
the same.
vibes, but it's very clearly Barney.
I thought it was
Purple.
thigh
So
guards.
There's plum purple,
Yes.
and there's violet purple.
You know
this
I
is
love my colors.
clearly plum purple.
For
Thank
sure.
you very much.
Yeah,
because
but
he
a
loves
nice dark muted purple for you guys.
Yeah.
And once you start troop building these guys on shelf, it really comes together.
Yeah, and that's something fun we do with troop builders too. Like we'll do them so they're layered, so that you can play around with the way they look if you are troop building.
All right, so that's our mainline wave for the day. We got a lot of other things to cover. though.
Now we got the good stuff
I
coming.
think
All
we
the
got some stuff.
not
So we're
that
gonna
these
see.
aren't good,
The
but now
thing
we
coming
got
up
the
next is our Hall of Fame, which is our inaugural
sweet.
Hall of Fame. Let's see if
Okay.
yes, we're in order. Perfect. So hopefully you all saw online. You got to vote in our inaugural Hall of Fame this year. So we're going to start things off with our.
Did you guys
human
vote in the Hall of Fame?
Which I think we kind of need to in order
Yeah.
to have a GI Joe Hall of Fame. So Dan, I'll let you take it away.
This year's Hall of Fame inductee is Stanley Weston, without whom the G.I. Joe line, as we know it, would not exist. He was one of the people integral to its conception. He sold the idea of a military-themed line of figures with interchangeable outfits to Hasbro in 1963 using standard wooden artist's model dressed in handmade clothes. Weston demonstrated the playability of a fully articulated figure and the complementary accessories leading to the development of the original G.I. Joe line.
I got an
action
email
figures
for it.
and its continuing legacy 60 years later. Weston passed away in 2017.
I'm not
and
exactly
recognized
sure
his
what it
achievements
is,
today
but they
as a
had
member
us
of
pick
the
like
Hall of
a
Fame.
favorite figure from the 60s, 12-inch line. We had different options.
Yeah.
All the
And a
information
favorite
about it, the
figure
legacy line that you
for
guys got this year before it's
ARAH,
on the
and I think
paying
and
homage,
then,
60th
a favorite
anniversary.
classified.
There's a lot to go on there. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of different iterations for GI Joe. It lasted till the 70s. It was really awesome first time. So we wouldn't be here without Stanley. So he needs to
Thank
be
you.
the first human in our GI Joe Hall
Yeah,
of Fame.
like, it's like the impact
Yes,
that he had on all of our lives as GI Joe fans is
action figure
incredible.
fans in general.
Invented
Yes.
action figures.
What
Here
would we
you
even
go.
be
Here's
calling
my play.
them?
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Dolls.
yes.
All right. So in the Hall of Fame voting, there were 3 other questions. Up first was our question was, what was your favorite 1964 character? Surprisingly,
you
there were
entered-
actually
win a
5
hiss.
because there was a mail away dress marine that a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
actually came in second place, but I think to nobody's surprise, the winner clearly was Action Soldier.
Of course.
Beautiful
Yeah.
picture. You know, I mean, box.
I want to say they
like,
started
the
doing
guy everybody
the
got.
retro
And then
carded
like, oh, I can have
figures
other branches of the military. This is
in
pretty cool.
It must have been mindset back in
22,
the day.
but I could
To,
be
like,
wrong.
What? How can I play with this? Like it's like it just completely changed the script of like how you play with toys.
I know Lady J and Gun Ho were
So that
like
was fun. So we had
stacked
to get something
deep
in
on the
for the
racks at
classic.
Walmart
So then again,
forever.
being the inaugural, we got to go back to the next state of G.I. Joe when it started, which is pretty much where all of us came into the brand, which is your favorite 1982 figure. I did include vehicle drivers, but I did not include vehicles. There'll be plenty of time in the future to add more what's your favorite vehicle to this. But it came down to 2, but I don't think anybody's going to be surprised about the 1982 winner by any means. None other than Commando himself.
Philly Jones,
Snake Eyes.
you're asking about
I mean,
why
the
do
first
we
one.
think
It is,
that
yeah.
it takes so
So,
long for Classified
Cobra
to come
Commander
out?
was number 2
I
for
think it's
everybody, so
probably
the mail
because
always
it's
makes
made
sense.
in
Also,
a
that
different
makes sense,
factory
yeah.
from some of these other figures.
Yeah, absolutely works.
That was surprising.
And then everything else was a huge drop off.
I haven't confirmed
those
that,
two
so I don't know. I'd
competed
have
the
to
whole time
look at the,
and then last but not
codes
least,
on
we
the
decided your
figures.
favorite classified
But,
toy of the year. And yes, we will retroactively get back to past classified since we missed a few. But this year, I think you've made a statement in how you want to work on the G.I. Joe line. And this year's winner was none other than the Vamp.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody absolutely is loving the vehicle play because
Man, I love the
vehicles
Vamp.
are as much
Yeah.
characters in this.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's cool.
So I'm actually
You
looking
didn't know.
for.
I've
Oh,
known
you
for
signed
a
it.
while since I turned the
That's
polls
awesome.
on. But yeah,
very
so,
cool, man.
a lot of fun. So I'm glad we got to do this. Thank you again for helping us with
Absolutely.
that induction. Stanley and family, thank you again for your
we
contribution.
need another vehicle too.
So, and now we have a special PSA from our new arcade game,
Oh,
Wrath
what?
of Cobra.
PSA from Cobra.
Okay. We have to get out of here. Uh-oh. Oh, what's that?
A police officer.
We need a new cartoon
He said
so
we had
bad.
to
I
leave.
don't like. I'd even be fine with it being like a Netflix exclusive, or even YouTube webisodes like they did with Resolute.
The police now.
I'm the police now.
Now we know.
And knowing is half
The battle.
so
My Cobra Commander never said that. Hell yeah, I'm gonna
Check
enter.
out that demo on Steam this weekend. It's going back up, and get ready for the full release later this fall. And don't forget to wish list and follow, as there's some big news just around the corner. But you know what's better than a PSA for the game?
What's better?
A little demo of the game, and I'm going to let Tony and Dan take you guys through it. They're going to play a little bit here. We're going to put it up on screen. You can
Awesome.
see, so we have a copy of it now.
There we go.
So,
Is it gonna be like the whole screen?
I don't know how it's going to be. It's going to
I
be full
hope so.
screen for everybody at home. So yeah,
First,
And you guys.
We haven't
Imagine
prepped for
his tank
this.
going up
Yeah.
in school.
Man, I
Starting
would
mode.
absolutely just fall out if I
For sure.
won one of these
And then hit the
giveaways
start
they're
button.
doing.
Pick
I
your character.
never win anything.
All right, I'll go Snake Eyes.
Am I gonna do double snake eyes? Like
And you're lucky this is co-op.
Yeah.
This is versus I
this
tell you.
kid, this kid. But let's get it.
I'm entering to
Yeah,
win
you know.
everything they have on
So
here.
yeah, I mean, if you're a
Jump
classic, a real American Hero fan, this game talks to you. If you spent time in rat casinos like we did as children,
Yes.
as we like to call them, this is totally where it's at. There was a great game that came
Oh, I
out
like
last
the
year
kick.
from a very famous,
Ooh, drop kick.
IP that we all love. So a lot of fun here as well. I could let these guys play this game. This level's going to take forever.
Yes. Like, like,
And I don't
like
know.
boulder
Yeah,
shoulder
dude,
going
Tomax
on,
and
you
Zame
know?
are
I don't
really
have my
nice figures.
special
They did a good job.
Oh, yeah. All right. So,
Can I play
Oh my
this?
God.
Oh baby.
Dude, I'm
What
gonna
do we
beat this
have
game
here?
the first
Yeah,
time I
oh,
get
sorry,
it.
no,
Are you
it's gonna be
kidding
great.
me?
so in the spirit of time, I'm going to keep
Oh.
things going. You guys can keep playing. Just gotta be quiet while I talk about this.
Can we get another remote?
Not that she really plays
I'm
anymore,
gonna go
but
to
I think
G.I.
I'm
Joe
gonna try to
Publishing.
get the Dragon Dice set for my wife.
All right, I gotta talk.
Oh wait.
All right, so you guys play, but you gotta be quiet. So our publishing team, our good friends over at Skybound, if you're not up to date, get ready because the final chapters of Destro and Scarlet will be on
Hey, are
sale
you guys
next
watching
month,
any of the?
November with the 5-issue
Or,
volume.
I'm
set
sorry,
for
are you
Scarlet
guys
and
reading
Destro
any of the new
alongside
Skybound comics?
Skybound GI Joe #1 coming.
If you're
in
not,
November.
you
In
should.
celebration of the
They're
historic release of GI Joe
fantastic. They're
#1,
really good.
Skybound insiders will have a chance to win tickets to attend Los
All of the
Angeles
comics
screenings of
making
G.I.
this
Joe. The
huge
movie,
collective
1987, we got to
universe.
see it a couple
Yeah,
years
that
ago.
was
It's
cool, the
awesome
big
in the
screen.
theater, you guys.
Yeah.
Alongside
Yeah,
the
Robot
G.I. Joe
Chicken was a lot
#1
better.
Josh Williamson, both the comic debut and the fan event will launch November 13th, so 2 months from today. So sign up as a Skybound insider. Go to insiders@skybound.com/GI Joe or GI-Joe-screening because that's a lot of words. And then enter the promo code and read the terms and conditions to see if you are eligible. We're extremely excited for this comic news, and we hope you all are too.
Maybe they'll
All right,
release
so
audiobooks.
we're still on time. We're doing
We
good. You guys
need
see the
that
game. It's
GI
fun.
Joe
Sorry.
Baroness. That hero
we're gonna recap
Baroness.
quick.
We
So
need that
our
figure in the classified
convention
line.
exclusive Pulse, HasbroPulse.com, Starduster, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Hasbro Pulse Premium members.
Okay.
Followed by 5 p.m. Eastern for everybody else. The mainline characters you saw, same deal. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So
for
I
our
won't be
Hasbro
pre-ordering
Pulse Premium
any of the
members, 5
mainline
p.m.
stuff
Eastern
since I've
time.
already ordered it from my
HasbroPulse.com,
distributor.
where fine toys are sold. I'm getting that line down eventually.
That line's got to be there all the time. Yeah.
All right, so we have about a minute left before they're going to kick us out of here. So we're going to do some Q&A quick. I have this little fancy iPad. In
They're
front of
not revealing or releasing
me.
any
Render
of
reveals. I
the.
think we skipped them.
Should we? I think we should.
I don't know if we can go back in the assets.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do render reveals online.
Yeah, check them out online.
Yeah.
We'll have Tony do them on his social.
Yeah.
We'll get them to you. It's fine. All right. So
Man,
I'm going to
that
do Q&A
sucks.
quick.
They've already
So
shown
the first
Nemesis
question here
Immortal
is,
in a
what
previous
kind of
live
research
stream.
or inspiration goes
I
into the design of
honestly
each
expected it to be
G.I.
part
figure,
of this
especially
as
when it
well.
comes to military authenticity in classic G.I. Joe storylines.
Maybe it'll
Well,
be something.
There's this little thing called Google.
Something for 1027.
No, but we.
Man, it really bugs the hell out of me when people talk about military authenticity and GI Joe. If you want military authenticity, collect the 1960s stuff because that's where that was. GI Joe, ARAH, the comic book, and the cartoon. None of that was military authenticity. Sci-fi. All of it was sci-fi.
Oh wow. That takes some thought, Tony. Anything come to mind?
It's almost like some of these guys don't even
All right,
know
I'll give you
anything about me
What's
because they
your-
claim to be a fan
What's your
of.
favorite, most recent figure?
Road Pig.
Road Pig. I mean, it's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
So,
The
all
helmet,
right.
the helmet.
So then we typically do name reveals too, right? So I'm going to end this with this, and this is going to
You
drop
mentioned-
everybody.
you
I think
mentioned
the internet's
Jim.
gonna go all over the place for the next little while. So the
Jim and the
render
holograms,
name
the
reveals is
cartoon
going to
was
be
actually
The Hunt
connected in
for
the
the
same
Master
universe
and that's all I'm going to
as
say.
the G.I. Joe
I'll be
cartoon.
back with more information later this fall on that, but you guys stew online over it. So for now, that's going to do it. For
Yes,
G.I.
they
Joe.
fail
We're
from
gonna throw it.
helicopters
You
in
guys
real life
hopefully on
all
your
the
screen are
time
seeing
with
the QR code,
parachutes
scan
and
that, join trivia, and let's get
explosions,
to it.
and it's all so great.
1, 2, 3.
Yo, Joe!
Cobra! Scan to win. Did you guys enter the giveaways on Hasbro Pulse? I went through and just copy and pasted my email in every single one of these. And it looks like I missed a few. Yeah, on that Studio Prime. I'm actually going to stay live here for a little bit. If you guys are, if anybody's interested in sticking around and kind of bullshit for a little bit, watch a little bit more of PulseCon. You know, I don't only collect GI Joe. I also collect a little bit of Transformers stuff, a few Marvel Legends. And then like some random other figures. I collect a little bit of Valaverse Action Force. One of the things that I've gotten into quite a bit here recently is the Marauders Task Force figures, especially when they do the geared up. That's what they call it. They do geared up figures. They sell these at toy shows and on their website. And then I just had made the artwork for these cards that I sell, the cards and cases, and Marauder John was kind enough to give me all of the artwork and everything for all of their logos so we can make all kinds of different cards for them. This is actually the first time that I've shown this to anyone. So here on the live stream, this is a new product that I'll be putting up in my eBay store. For those of you that are into Marauders Task Force, I've got a bunch of figures that I need to do something with. This one I got from a buddy. This was a Joe Fest exclusive figure. It's part of the Z-Force line. I need to get the card back in here with him and put that parachute back behind him. Just a little bit of reorganization of the way it looks in packaging. But those are clamshell cases. They open up, the figures come out. What's a good price to buy Serpentor? Anywhere from 150 to 200 bucks is what I've seen them selling for. Yeah, Shane, I think that I agree with you, man. I think that was kind of a hot mess. It seemed to be kind of thrown together. They were supposed to be building a diorama. Where did that go? We got to vote on two different things, and it's almost like they had planned for this to be an extended, lengthy production, and it just wasn't. Dude, they have to release Hector Ramirez. That would be fantastic. Hell, I even entered the Win Funko Pop. My little girl will play with it. My little girl loves those, man. I'm going to turn the volume down on this now until we get something else going here. Second place, Orange Baby 10. What's this for? Oh, okay. So this is the scan to win thing, winning players. Yeah. So they've already released another version of the Range Viper in the Pulse exclusive set. Of course, not the original colors. I don't think that they will do a whole lot more with that figure. They may do I want them to do a Skullbuster and a female version as Eevee. Eevee would be super easy to make. They already have the Valkyries bodies. They could do some mixing and matching with Valkyries and make a new head sculpt. Maybe even go with the like Lady J double jointed elbow, short sleeve arms. There's a lot of stuff they could do to make Eevee happen without really putting a bunch of money into new molds. I had several of the second Python Patrol officer. It's a really, really good figure. Much better than the first one, I think. And now I'm down to I think I'm down to two of them. Two unopened, and that's it. I didn't even take the time to open one of them. Yes, the video game was a massive waste of time. Nobody gives a shit about the video game. They're never good. And hey, what's this? Okay, so here they're building the diorama.
So you got the first two. You've got Dreadnoks, and you've got In the City.
What is that?
It sounds like a 1980s power ballad.
Yeah. This one's gonna be a fun one.
It's like Casey Kasem.
Hey, what's up, Aaron? How are you?
City from Hasbro, topping off the chart. I love it. Fantastic. Well, you know what? We're gonna keep going. Okay, we're gonna hit you up with another.
Dude, the Valkyries are really good.
We're gonna spice it up a little bit. Okay.
All right, we're ready.
So your poll question number 3 for everyone at home is,
especially when Pulse had them on sale.
Doing in the scene.
There was like a 30% discount on the Valkyries. I scooped up several of those. I've got a couple of them that are open.
You have a minute to decide.
They're really good figures. Some people didn't like the color scheme for some of the accessories being that desert tan or whatever color. But
cleaning up trash or something like that.
How long do I think the line will last? I have no idea, man. I hope that it goes and goes and goes. This is probably, I'm going to say, one of my favorite G.I. Joe lines. I would say that it probably comes in at number 2 as far as my favorite lines, my favorite G.I. Joe lines go. And oddly enough, ARAH is not one of those. It ranks pretty far down on the list. Even though I loved it as a kid, what I really enjoy about the classified line is the fact that I can collect all of this in real time, like as it comes out, and be here for stuff like this. Like the age that we are in right now, man, for an involved toy collector, being able to engage in live streams and do what those of us here on this channel are doing right now.
We
you know,
may
that's
throw
a
one
lot
more
of fun for
wild
me,
card
and
question
that's
at you, so
honestly,
get ready.
I'm gonna say
All right,
that
we'll be ready.
Make
this
you sweat, okay?
selling
All right. Time
and
to
making
shift
custom
gears
stuff,
and see what's happening
all
on
of
the
that
Dungeons and Dragons front
is
so we can see how
more
quickly
of the
this
hobby
test
than
is
actually
over
collecting, because I
and they
spent
share
so
some
long
excitement for the world's
just
greatest
collecting by
role-playing
myself
game.
with nobody to share any of this with.
You learn a lot about people when they are playing pretend in a world that isn't real.
I played first when I was 7.
I started about 8 or 9.
Since college.
So now they're talking about Dungeons and Dragons. I never had anybody when I was a
1991.
kid to get into D&D with, or I would have been probably fully immersed in
You got
Dungeons
me
and
hooked. I've been
Dragons.
playing ever since. This was like some of the best times I've ever had.
In high school, I had some guys that I played Magic the Gathering with, and then as an adult, I've played off and on a little bit here and there, but not really anything consistent. I do enjoy those games a lot, though.
We've made something. It's its own thing. That's the joy of collaborative storytelling.
It's almost like it's a metaphor for life, right?
This group was the thing that kept me going.
The painted miniatures,
Good friends
the
in this life that I
conventions,
have. I
and
found
all
what
of the people that are into D&D.
This is
It
our
was
tribe.
a little bit
D&D is
disheartening
our
to
tribe.
me
I
today
think
to
it is
read
cool.
that Chris
You can
Cox
actually
is
let your
talking about
imagination go
incorporating
The world
AI
is your oyster.
a lot
The
more
possibilities are
in
endless.
the development of D&D. I mean, I really feel like AI is being taken in a direction that it shouldn't be going. Computers should not be creating
When we come
artwork
together
and
in the
music
same room, it's a different relationship. It's a different bond.
and stories. This is
So what do you
what
want to do?
people should be doing, but instead you have the people working. You have the people putting in all of this work
We have
so that a computer can create art, and that's not how things are supposed to be. The computers are supposed to do the work for us, and we are supposed to create the art. And a lot of it just steals from existing artwork that's already out there. Yeah, that was it for Classified, man. I don't know. I was hoping that they would reveal a little bit more, but keep in mind, next month we have the Hasbro 1027. I'm assuming they'll probably do a live stream for that.
It feels like it's way more.
These figures they just revealed, I don't think these are coming out until like January, February.
I love making changes to the game based on what the fans have said.
The cat has dark vision.
Not a single announcement or teaser other than Starduster, which we already knew about, that he's going up for pre-order today. But as far as how long the line will last, Philly Jones, like, dude, I hope that it goes for another 10, 15 years. I mean, I don't want to see it end. I know that it eventually will, as every single G.I. Joe line does. But you got to take into consideration that the ARAH line lasted roughly 12 years from 82 to 94.
Now influences who your
The original G.I. Joe line lasted
that it never did before.
less than that when they introduced the adventure team and had to get away from the military stuff. And then
reimagining of the
you had Super Joe, and I think it was 77 and 78. I mean, there was literally just like a year and a half of Super Joe. Nobody wanted it because they went from a 12-inch figure down to an 8.5-inch figure, and none of the stuff scaled with the stuff that kids and parents have already been buying.
Rangers, paladins, barbarians, and others. Really, any character.
Man, I don't think Starduster is going to be that hard to get. He'll probably have multiple restocks. I'm fairly sure that it'll sell out today, but like they'll do multiple restocks on it or something. If you join my Facebook group, G.I. Joe Classified Marketplace, me and some of the other admins, we post up links to stuff on Pulse. Like if I work a third shift, so I'm always up at all hours of the night. So that's like the Once a Man Cobra Commander. I had posted a few times on that, but it pops up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Other people, they post it whenever something gets dropped or something comes in stock on the site. So just keep up with things there, man, and we'll do what we can to try and get it to you.
All the characters.
Make sure that everybody in our group has an ample opportunity to get the stuff that they want and try and help people out.
Is a super handy reference. You can just go and alphabetically find whatever crunchy detail of the rules you need to know in the moment.
a number of the people who've already seen the book.
Yeah,
often say, this whole book is
raw
great,
talk.
but I would buy this book
I'm not sure
just
what
for
are you
the
basing the
moral
4 years
philosophy.
thing on. Like I don't disagree. You know, maybe it does only have another 4 years left. It's honestly, it's lived past what I expected it to begin with. But you're right, they can't do HasLabs for everything, but they will continue doing HasLabs for things as long as they keep getting funded the way the G.I. Joe stuff has been. And G.I. Joe has been outperforming all of the other brands that are doing HasLabs. I think except for Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters sells super fast, it funds super quick. But you know, you had the Rattler that honestly I think they could have done a lot better job with the Rattler than what they did. But you know that thing funded super fast.
Dragons are cool, and we like dragons.
This is by far the most monster-packed monster manual D&D has ever had. Part of that, frankly, is when
there's a ton of
outline, I just couldn't stop.
There's a ton of source material that they can dig into to keep releasing vehicles and keep releasing figures and characters and troop builders. One of the troop builders that I want to see happen really bad, right here.
When I was a kid, picking up the book and being like,
I want them to dive into this stuff, man. I want them to do like an eco, like if you guys remember the JoeCon set. That was it was some Eco Warriors, some Ninja Force, and zombies. I mean, it was really cool. There was I think there was a couple Steel Brigades in there. Stuff like that would be awesome. Base it on the HasLab. There's a thing blocking this
to make it easier for the next generation.
HasLab shelf space. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, man. Because you don't see HasLab his tanks back here behind me. Or really a whole lot of vehicles. I've got a bunch of Stingers. I've got cases of Stingers in my garage on shelving for like business inventory, and I've got 2 his tanks out there because I just don't have space to put them in here. And unfortunately, like my collecting space, my studio and office is confined to about a 12 by 12 room.
What can we offer our fans that
yes, Ninja Force like those figures, those characters,
things that they've never seen before, and things that they may have experienced but they want more of.
Yeah, the Saw Viper, man, being the Saw Viper is definitely an awesome troop builder. I think that they've changed back to man, I think they've gone back to 6 figures per case instead of 4. And I ended up doubling up on that to I got a bunch of those coming. Yeah, I'm going to keep probably 4 of them for myself. Yeah, dude, the retro artwork for Ninja Force. I wish they would have kept that too for the classified figures.
Teach people how to play. I'm always
Nunchuck had kind of that vibe with the background on the box cover, but it wasn't like. I think they should have just went ahead and gone full on neon 90s with it.
And it takes the players to kind of these 3.
Yeah, I remember the G.I. Joe Street Fighter collaboration.
There's the wilderness itself, and then
I don't have any of them, but I remember when they were in stores.
And forth on this, this awesome journey.
Lone Dragon, the Awestriker needs to happen soon. The Armadillo is totally a doable vehicle. The Wolverine, Skyhawk. Vamp Mark II, dude, there's so much they can do with the Vamp. Not just the Stinger, but they can do the Mark II. They can do the Dreadnought Ground Assault with Heart Wrencher. There's so much stuff that they could do with stuff that they already have and that they know that we're going to buy.
And those releases will be supported by play programs so that a store owner can go, hey, you got your book early, and now here's some adventures to
play
along
a hammer would be
with all
awesome.
Of your friends in the store.
Yeah, the Snowcat, the Polar Battle Bear, the Triple T. I've heard that the Triple T. I've heard a rumor that the Triple T might actually be coming.
They're both just so special to so many folks. And
if it is, it won't be until sometime next year.
With some secret
there's already slots with code names for all kinds of figures and sets and stuff going out all through 2025. We know we're getting the Fang, and we know that we're getting the Claw.
So very soon.
There's no reason under the sun why they wouldn't be able to make all of these small vehicles and even the play sets. Like, you know, I've been printing checkpoint alphas in classified scale with like different themes, different color schemes for them, and like people seem to like those quite a bit. I'll go ahead and show you guys. I need to make a video with this, but this is a classified scale. This is the top to a checkpoint alpha. And it has all of the accessories that go on the top of the bucket. It has the ladder, and this is all printed to color, by the way. It's not painted, it's all printed to color. And I tried to get it fairly close to the original, and then I made a bunch of variations. I made Cobra versions. I made an Arbco checkpoint. Some of you guys may know what Arbco is. It's the cover. It's the shell business, the shell company that Cobra uses as the cover.
And the other, a book that is tailor-made for players, but also of use to our DMs. We start the new player options.
I'm not sure if there were Mad Marauders vehicles in the code names or not, but I would assume that if there are, it's probably the Lynx, and it would have to be the Lynx and Wolverine.
A lot of these would be factions that you'll recognize, like the Harpers or the Red Wizards of Thay, and maybe
hey, have a good one, Raw Talk.
Maybe got promoted. Then over in the Dungeon Master focused book, that's where we're really going to dig into different parts of the realms. If you want to do urban fantasy, well, we've got Baldur's Gate just for you. If you want to go do survival horror, you can take your adventure off to Icewind Dale. We've got sort of classic D&D fantasy.
Scotty Phillips, that's part of the whole thing with what Hasbro's doing, man. They are listening to the collectors, but I'm not sure which collectors' voices are getting heard, because I know that my opinion of what I want for the G.I. Joe Classified line differs greatly from what other people may want. A lot of guys seem to want everything to be like just 82 to 85, because I know people that collect 3 3/4 line, they stop with like a certain year and they don't collect anything past that. But there's a lot of guys that want them to look as close to the original as possible. I want updated appearances for these figures. I like the retro cardback line for the retro look, but I'm really into the updated stuff because through the years, I never really stopped collecting, and one of my favorite lines was the Spy Troops and the Valor versus Venom lines, because it completely reinvented a lot of stuff with G.I. Joe.
So many of us played Baldur's Gate 3. What in the sweet house were you thinking? This is the opportunity.
So I do think that they are listening to collectors, and they're taking opinions from kind of all over the place, I think.
Play D&D with all of these cool 3D environment pieces and miniatures that come with the products. You can start experiencing a role-playing game.
I don't really have anything from Jada except the man, what are they? The Universal Monsters figures that they came out with, the 6-inch Universal Monsters, and I think they're really great figures.
Games actually get to see the thing that you're talking about instead of just trying to imagine it. And it's not meant to replace your imagination. In fact, you actually need a lot of imagination still. You actually just pick up the miniatures and move them
Wreck-It,
around.
Road Pig, and Thunder Thigh, Storm Shadow.
At your table with 3D terrain pieces. You have 3D characters that you can look at, manipulate.
Man, I haven't done this in a while. I could actually go live like this on the channel more often and just bullshit with people.
Easy, fast, fun. If you played with minis before, you're just playing with minis here. It's just a place for you to connect with your friends online whenever you want.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Like the Tiger Paw was a total screw up by Target, and Target is notorious for that. But unfortunately, Target has the money to put into helping fund the line. It's one of those unfortunate corporate circumstances Yeah, and I always tell people, like, we are not Hasbro's customers. Hasbro's customers are big retailers and distributors. Hasbro's customers are Walmart, Target, Amazon, and distribution companies. Even Hasbro Pulse is not. They're not like they're a retail company separate that's owned by Hasbro. They're the last. They don't compete with other retailers. They're last to get their stuff. Yeah, it's kind of weird, man. In my opinion, the way that they handle all of this, because we are not the customers and consumers.
And figures and games come together. We have an idea that's called a module. It's a D&D mini adventure meant to last a few hours. Just so
dude, I have not gone to Target or any store looking for figures since the Cobra Island Viper came out, and it was such a horrible experience doing that. It was such a horrible experience trying to get that figure that I gave up on hunting. And I said then, like, if I can't order it online when it drops, then I'll find another way to get it. I'll pay a higher price or whatever I got to do. I'm not toy hunting anymore.
You could have, and it's at your fingertips. It comes in a variety of different kit pieces, so you can snap together.
Another issue that I see with releasing in stores is the fact that there is not enough space for any of this stuff, really. When they release a wave of, like, let's say 4 mainline figures with a deluxe figure and something else, a couple of retros or whatever, they don't have enough allotted shelf space for that. And these figures they're not targeting the audience they need to target in order to move enough for stores to carry them like that. Think about how many people you know personally in your circle of meat space real life friends, how many of them near you collect G.I. Joe? How many of them near you are going to walk into Walmart or Target, whatever your local store is? How many of them are going to walk into that store and buy something they see on the shelf? Or how many of them have kids that are of an age to get into those figures as well? How many of them are going to go in and buy a G.I. Joe figure? Because personally, I don't know any. Like, I know maybe one other person that would buy anything from a store like that, because they can literally just pre-order it online. They don't expect to see anything on the shelf.
Very easily organize information and create characters so that you can play that same character.
Well, yeah, dude. Aaron, that's a practice that a lot of people use to get stuff that's not released, and ethics of it are questionable. In the opinions of some. Personally, I think that if something is in a store or out on the shelf, it should be for sale. Release date be damned.
PC, but we want to go everywhere because we want to connect players across mobile, console.
The second Python Patrol officer ended up suffering from the same condition as a lot of the other figures that Target got. They sat in the warehouse and never made it to the store. They got sold online. They were on sale for a long time online on the app.
D&D Beyond, the books, or the 3D experience, we just want to make it easier, faster, put more creative control in your hands. We want to thank you for being a part of the exciting.
Yes, all of those corporations have F-off money.
Everyone with a D&D Beyond account to join the closed beta coming this fall. Sign up for free right now at dndbeyond.com/project-sigil. And as an extra bonus, when you pre-order the 2024 digital and physical horror rulebook bundle, you will get this.
Man,
awesome
you know, my local Walmart store, I went in there the other day. Unfortunately, had to go in there. And as I was walking through, I passed by the toy aisles, and sometimes I'll cruise down through there and look for something. Like, I'll grab my daughter something on the way through or whatever. But like, I noticed that they don't have a spot for G.I. Joe now. They did have like 2 pegs, and that was like 1 peg for the box classifieds and 1 peg for retro card backs, and they had 1 spot on the shelf for the boxed deluxe figures. All that's gone. They don't have any of that now. Yes, lots of racks for Hot Wheels, TMNT, Marvel stuff, WWE. WWE sells like crazy, man. Like everybody that's marketed toward kids and adults, it has a much broader customer base that they're going after with that. So it sells. Same thing with Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels have always and will always sell, in my opinion. They keep that stuff because there's a much broader audience. Hasbro's not targeting a broader audience with G.I. Joe, or they would have reinvented it with something new that a younger generation could get involved in, instead of just targeting the 40 to 50-year-old crowd and trying to hit that nostalgia button to get them to buy stuff. And that's all they're doing. That's all Hasbro's doing, is trying to hit that nostalgia button with the 40 to 50-year-old crowd to get them to buy stuff. Anybody that gets into G.I. Joe Classified that's in the younger generations, those guys get into it because they're coming over from Marvel Legends, or they're coming over from another 6-inch line, and those figures look cool and scale well with stuff that they are already into. That's right, man. It's like they just don't care about stocking anything in stores. And honestly, I think that has a whole lot to do with the fact that most business is now conducted online. It's all about the pre-orders. It's all about ordering online. And it seems like anything that they get in store is basically just runoff from that. It's not even like allocated store stock. It's just runoff from what they didn't sell online, or from orders that got canceled or whatever. All of these exclusive Walmart Night Force, Transformers crossover Night Force, and Cobra figures, I have not seen a single one of them in stores at all. Like, I ordered all of them through the app and had them delivered to my house, but I've not seen a single one of them in stores. And the shooter figure, she's fantastic, and I probably would have bought a couple more of her to do some kit bash stuff with her, customs. Like, if I saw her in the store, I'd probably pick her up. Lego has 2 aisles at your Walmart store. I think ours has like one side of maybe one aisle, but I mean, we're one of the poorest counties in Indiana, so we don't. Our Walmart kind of sucks. It's kind of small. Yeah, we're old, so they don't really care what toys we want. Except that, I mean, that's literally who they're marketing to with G.I. Joe. They're not trying to expand it. If they were trying to expand G.I. Joe to a broader audience, if they were trying that hard, now the Energon universe with the comics, I think that's done a lot for it. But if they were really trying to expand this to a broader customer base, then I think that they would probably be releasing more promoted comics. They would be doing cartoon series. They would have phone apps, games, and stuff all the time, where they would actually put the effort into some of that stuff. Like, I had the G.I. Joe mobile game there for a while, and it just wasn't fun, man. It just got boring.
2024, we're having some fun, making some incredible progress. But you know what, guys? There is still so much more to say. Okay.
What exclusives don't go up for pre-order online?
Time to find out what's coming.
Because I've seen every one of them go up for pre-order online. Now, some of them sell out super fast because they're truly a limited exclusive. But I mean,
Revelations special packs, guys, they sold out. I'm serious.
Yeah, trying to get Walmart exclusives online, man, it sucks, especially if you try and get in that first wave of pre-orders because they sell out so fast. But like all the Night Force stuff has ended up coming back in stock for pre-order or back up for pre-order.
My goodness, what a great lineup we got so far. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Welcome to PulseCon. You look ready. You ready to tell me the good news?
Ollie's is a closeout store that's located all over the United States and in different states, just all over the place.
There's a lot going on with that right now. It's
Lizard and Craven. So I actually saw both of those on the Walmart app very briefly when they first released, and it was one of those things that was like going out and coming back in of in stock or ready to pre-order or whatever, available to pre-order.
And
I'm here today from the Secret Lair team to talk to you about something really special that we have coming up. Like I said, Friday the 13th, it's that spooky season. And
yeah, Magic the Gathering's doing their part of the PulseCon right now, and I really just don't care a whole lot for it with all the stuff that they seem to be doing with it. Secret Lair drop series. It's a Ghostbusters crossover with Magic the Gathering.
Ghostbusters Slimer, and it's all there in the name. You can probably figure out what it's all about. But we're going to show you every single card here today, so you can see what's coming up at that September 30th sales event. So without further ado, let's kick it off. Let's see what that first card is.
Yeah, like I've said before, man, like stuff going to Ollie's and Ross is not good at all for the line, because it just means that retailers are going to buy less. One of the reasons why some things are so hard to get right now, like the Vamp, is because Hasbro cut their production by about 30% to try and keep that from happening. Retailers are ordering less product because they weren't able to sell it, and it was going to closeout. Nobody wants their stuff going to clearance. Like sometimes I end up setting on stuff myself and end up selling it for less. For less than I've got it in or break even, and it kind of sucks. It sucks whenever I've got money in something and I end up losing money on it and have to get back what I can out of it. Now I know big box retailers, they don't really have to worry too much about that, because even if they lose money on one thing, they're going to make up for it on something else.
Has split second and reads counter target activated or triggered ability. If a permanent's ability is countered this way, activated abilities of that permanent.
Yeah, so the Ghostbusters Magic the Gathering cards, I mean, they look cool. The artwork's neat.
Encapsulation of what it means to be slimed. Trick Find is a long time favorite.
Not something I'm going to get into though.
And we're really excited to be able to bring it.
Whatever Magic the Gathering cards I have are probably what I'll maintain. My wife and I played there off and on for a little while, and
it's going to be
haven't really even
called Slimer's Feast.
Done that in quite a while.
I really love this art by Simon Dominic. This is an incredibly fun card that's used in a lot of different strategies.
Early access to new drops
as well.
So what time are we looking at for what time are we looking at for Starduster to drop? Is it 4 p.m.? Shopping window, 4 p.m. Pulse Premium, so that's in 2 hours. I am not going to stay in a live stream for another 2 hours. I might go live again, probably. Yeah, we'll say 10 to 15 minutes before we start ordering those, just so that I can get on the site, get logged in, and be ready to order as many as I can. Yeah, I'll probably max it out at 5 on those. I'm assuming it's probably going to be 3 to 5 per person.
And we're really excited to be able to bring this card and some of this art that's really thematic to what we love about Ghostbusters, what we love about Slimer.
I knew that he existed as a kid. I just never had an opportunity to get a lot of this stuff.
Some of this creative into their gameplay experience. It's what Secret Lair is all about.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what he was, man. He was. There's I think 2 or 3 different variations of Starduster. Well, I mean, I'm in front of my computer, so I can actually pull it up and look right now. GiJoe.com is still an operational website and an invaluable source for information. That and 3D Joes. I don't know if you guys do too much with the older stuff, but 3D Joes and GiJoe.com are really invaluable resources. We'll search by alphabetical order. We'll go to the S's and look up the 1,000 different versions of Storm Shadow mixed in there. So Starduster. Wow. Okay. So, much like the Steel Brigade mail-away figure, there is version A, version B, version C.
As usual,
and of the original line, there was version 1, version 1A, version 1B, and version 1C. So you had 4 variations of the Starduster figure for mail-away.
what's coming up
and
on all the
every
cards.
single one of them, they were all kit bashes.
The boundaries on what you can see
Yeah,
on a
87,
magic
88, and 89. There was two different versions of it available in 1987, a version available in 1988, and a version available in 1989. So
the boundaries of what you can see on one of those magic cards.
Edward Schuyler is the file name for Starduster, and this figure came out in 2007.
And to all of the people that
And it was an International GI Joe Convention, Atlanta, Georgia, exclusive figure packed with Grand Slam version.
Ghostbusters team, the really hardworking.
So a more modern O-ring figure, and he came with a lot of the same stuff, the same stylized stuff that the original Starduster came with. You had the blast effect, flames, stand,
It's
all
pretty
that.
safe to say that the most exciting stuff is yet to come. If you like this, please come along with us, and we're so excited to get these into people's hands. Thanks everybody.
Yeah, I use GiJoe.com all the time, man. Like just to reference
I
vintage stuff.
I think they're fantastic. Steve, just one last time.
It's a wealth of information. It sucks that it ended up getting sold to a group or a company or whatever doesn't. I guess they don't really maintain it. But like I see new sections. I see a section for Microforce, which is 2013 stuff, and there is a section for classified. So I mean, somebody's been in here in the last 404 page not found. No, they're not.
Could have imagined that.
All right.
Not Hasbro marketing, I'll tell you that much. Let's go to some Magic the Gathering trivia. Let's see how you guys do.
The Magic the Gathering stuff on PulseCon, I'm not really so much interested in. But I have just kind of, will they come out with a 1988 Repeater? Dude, I hope so, man. Repeater was a cool figure. Repeater is a figure that I think gets overlooked a lot. Yeah, the Recon sled could be done in like some kind of ATV type thing and be a pretty cool little vehicle they could sell for like $40 or whatever. Put a figure with it. Even, you know what would be really cool? A troop builder GI Joe with the Recon sled. But some of that stuff, I mean, I would almost rather just 3D print it. There's a lot of really cool files out there. I like what they did with the Night Force Falcon and Whirl set. The fact that you're basically getting a Night Force Steel Brigade troop builder, which Night Force Steel Brigade was something that was put out several years ago by a third party maker, and it seems like it, in my opinion, that it's kind of themed along the same lines. But you've got that Falcon figure that has the Steel Brigade head and turns into a Steel Brigade troop builder, and you get a new head for your existing Falcon figure, a head that's not so screwed up and Team America looking. See, I've got a bunch of Steel Brigade in 3 3/4, a bunch of different versions, the Hasbro mail-away versions, and a bunch of the Red Lasers Army and Black Major Steel Brigade figures, and like they're goofy. Yeah, I think the closest thing that we've really gotten to green shirts would be Grunt, but you know you gotta take the name tag off. Yeah, I think Grunt is probably the closest thing that we've gotten to a green shirt. And you know you can remove the name with like a magic eraser, I think is what people were using to take that off. And he has the Steel Brigade. You know what? I have not opened a Grunt. I don't know if he has a Steel Brigade head or helmet. And I like the fact that they're including some of that stuff. Steel Core, not Steel Brigade. Steel Core name, trademark stuff. You know, they've got the helmets and whatnot. So I mean, it's almost like they're trying to incorporate that a little bit more with everybody being able to have some of that stuff to interchange with. I think they're doubling down on it because it's an easy troop building, world building thing that they can do. That helmet is kind of iconic, and one of the things that Lenny talks about doing is world building, so that's something that they can kind of include with multiple figures and kind of connect them a little bit. Whereas like with a green shirt, you're looking like what aspect of a green shirt would you be able to incorporate with other figures? I mean, we've got the helmet with the visor that came with the retro card Duke,
how are you?
and that I assume that's also going to come with Flash whenever they release Flash.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's your partner in crime over there? Is he working?
Oh, he's feverishly working. I see.
Guys, I'm actually going to jump off here. It's been great hanging out, watching the PulseCon segment with you guys, and thanks for coming on here and chatting. And I might go live again here in a little bit when ordering comes up and talk about some of that too. But thanks for joining in with me, guys, and I will see you all later.
One more thing of here, we want to add one more layer on your list because it is PulseCon. We want to